The smell reached the palace before dawn. Not the scent of perfume or incense that usually drifted through the halls of the emperor's residence, but the cold, metallic smell of death itself. Servants covered their noses as they passed the royal chamber. Guards whispered prayers beneath their breath. Even the physicians refused to enter unless ordered directly. Because inside that dark candlelit room, Emperor Lucian was sleeping beside a corpse. Not for mourning, not for a single night, for weeks. And with each passing day, the body beside him decayed further, while the Emperor of Rome clung desperately to it, as though love alone could defeat death. Tonight we descend into the disturbing history of the Emperor who feared abandonment so deeply that he chose the company of the dead over the living. The year was 214 AD. Rome stood powerful and wealthy, but inside the imperial palace, Emperor Lucian lived in constant fear. Not fear of rebellion or assassination. What terrified him was loneliness. His mother died when he was a child. His father was murdered years later. Friends vanished from court after political betrayals. One by one, everyone he trusted disappeared. Lucian learned one cruel lesson early in life. Everyone leaves. When he became emperor, he surrounded himself with music, servants, feasts, and endless luxury, hoping noise could silence the emptiness inside him. Then he met Helena. She was calm where he was paranoid, gentle where he was cruel. Unlike the senators who praised him out of fear, Helena spoke honestly, even when it angered him. For the first time in years, Lucian felt safe. But his love slowly became obsession. He refused to eat without Helena by his side, refused to sleep unless she held his hand. If she left the palace, he flooded the streets with guards to escort her home safely. At first, the court found it romantic. Then it became frightening. Lucian filled the palace with paintings of Helena, so he would never stop seeing her face. Every night before sleeping, he whispered the same trembling words, "You will not leave me too, will you?" Then the fever arrived. It spread through Rome during summer, killing rich and poor alike. Bodies filled the streets, while smoke from funeral pyres darkened the sky. When Helena became sick, Lucian sealed the palace gates and summoned every healer in the empire. Physicians covered her in oils and strange medicines, while priests prayed through the night. But nothing worked. One stormy evening, Helena stopped breathing. Witnesses said the emperor collapsed beside her body, screaming so loudly, servants fled the room in tears. For 3 days, he refused to let anyone remove the corpse. Then the madness truly began. Lucian ordered embalmers to preserve Helena's body with perfumes and oils. He filled the chambers with roses to hide the smell of decay. Each night he slept beside her beneath silk blankets, pretending she was merely asleep. Servants entering the room found him whispering conversations to the corpse. Sometimes he laughed softly, as though Helena had answered him. Other times he begged her not to abandon him. Weeks passed. The body slowly changed. Her skin darkened. Her lips cracked. The sweet smell of perfume mixed with rot, until even guards became sick, standing outside the chamber doors. But Lucian refused to leave. He stopped attending meetings. Executions increased because the emperor believed anyone suggesting burial was trying to steal Helena from him. One servant later claimed Lucian spent entire nights brushing Helena's hair while crying like a terrified child. The palace descended into horror. Candles burned day and night inside the death chamber. Physicians warned disease could spread from the corpse itself. Senators secretly discussed removing the emperor from power, but no one dared enter the room, because grief had transformed into madness. One winter night, a servant finally gathered enough courage to approach Lucian. Trembling violently, He whispered that Helena deserved a proper burial. The emperor stared silently for several moments. Then he smiled. A slow, broken smile that terrified everyone present. "She cannot leave me," he whispered. "Not again." The next morning, the servant disappeared. By now, Lucian barely resembled a man. He grew pale and thin from refusing food. Dark circles hollowed his eyes. He spent hours lying beside Helena's corpse, clutching her hand while the empire outside slowly collapsed into chaos. Then one morning, the guard opened the chamber doors and found silence. The candles had nearly burned out. The room smelled of flowers and decay. And upon the bed lay Emperor Lucian himself, dead beside Helena's corpse, his fingers still wrapped tightly around hers. Some believed poison killed him. Others claimed grief and madness consumed him completely. But Rome remembered him for something else entirely. Not as a conqueror, not as a ruler, but as the emperor who feared abandonment so deeply that he chose death rather than letting go. Because sometimes, the most terrifying prisons are not built from stone, and from grief. And when fear of losing someone becomes obsession, love itself can slowly rot into something horrifying. If you enjoyed this dark story from history, subscribe for more forgotten tales of madness, power, and disturbing secrets hidden beneath ancient empires.